conversation. So hey, take two, everybody out there. As we know, life throws us little detours. So a little bit of connection. We are 2,000 people in that room learning about ketone technology, how to help people. So Willie was just sharing with us about the struggles that his both grandmothers have been having, from Alzheimer's to dementia, and sharing how excited you are that now you have something all natural that you can offer them that has been years in the making, which again is such a blessing. So go ahead and finish that, and then I just want to kind of break down those ingredients and how they can help anyone, not just someone with Alzheimer's, dementia, but TBI, someone with anxiety, or any type of really brain injury, Parkinson's, or any mental health.
A lot of the mechanism of all the TBI or Alzheimer's or anything has to do a lot with the, like we were talking about the glucose uptake. And so ketones is a much better fuel source, along with now the MCT and the coconut oil. So we're real excited about now using the 143 that Dr. Newport put out. And again, like we were talking about earlier about the anecdotal evidence, she has tons of it with her own husband, who she developed it for.
Yeah, so I'm going to say something. So Mary did share Dr. Newport did share those values with her husband. Did you notice on those charts? Nothing was over 0.4 millimoles. Her husband was never in ketosis. She would judge how high the millimoles were and where his cognition and where he started to feel that brain fog or things starting to move on him. That was the most amazing thing, because I assumed every time she was giving it to him, he was actually in natural ketosis, and he never was, and still changed the clock test and did all those amazing things. So I think that was super important for me. I'm going to take just a minute here and just break down a few things. So with coconut oil, we know it's a solid at room temperature. When we take out C12, which is the monolaurin or lauric acid, it actually makes it a liquid. So when we can use raw coconut oil, that C12 is so important, because C8 is caprylic acid, then we have capric acid, then we have lauric acid or monolaurin. So with Alzheimer's patients, there have been many studies showing that's an underlying Lyme's disease or maybe a virus or bacteria. Monolaurin, which again is lauric acid, actually is antimicrobial, it's antiviral, antibacterial, antiparasitic. So when you can blend all those things, you get the neurological development, you get the leveling out of the blood sugar, you get the immediate uptake with that, plus the extra choline, which is naturally coming in eggs, which, we thought eggs were bad for so many years. Now we know that choline is really an important ingredient for our brain function. It's found actually in raw egg yolks, so buy raw organic egg yolks and prime rib and eat that at least once a week. It's actually all in the formula. I think she said as many as like 2 eggs total and just a little tiny pouch. So I always feel like I'm sometimes interrupting you, but you have so many great things to say. So let's just take one more kind of take home that you got. Or Kendra's actually holding us. So Kendra, what did you really, not being in the medical field, Kendra's an amazing hairdresser, an amazing businesswoman. What did you really take home, or what was really stuck out to you?
Am I facing it towards me now?
No, that's okay.
Good.
We could.
Everybody can hear me. I think that my biggest thing yesterday is nutrition is how we are treating our bodies now. It's no longer about food being what we do to socialize. Food is now the fuel for the body. We're thinking of how it affects our body.
Everyone's getting a lot of thumbs up there, Kendra.
It's how we affect our body positively and how we affect our body negatively. And we're finally paying attention. And so, like, when I have kids and then when their kids have kids, hopefully they're not dealing with the same stuff we have been, because we're changing what we were taught for generations.
I think it's going to take a whole generation to switch that over.
But we are the beginning, and we are just spreading that.
What's really interesting about what you just said, though, is that you're saying that we're starting to, not realizing that Hippocrates said this in 400 BC.
We already knew it.
We already knew it. Like, food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food, right?
Oh, we're helping Kendra here.
Gotcha. So it's not really that we're learning. It's just something that we going back to the basics, and letting actually, again, everything that we put in our mouth is either feeding disease or fighting it, right? So starting with nutrition first is really the best first line of defense, rather than jumping to medications first.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
I feel like I'm the generation that learned from commercials.
Yes.
And now I'm deciding to actually learn from the professionals.
Yeah. You're exactly right. Well, I want to thank Willie for being here with me today. I think we're
having
going to be meeting probably a couple times a month, just to kind of bring more current information that's coming out there to keep you informed. Everyone who couldn't be here, we want to make sure that you got some nuggets from home. Go to the Prove It Facebook page. So facebook.com/justproveit. They did a live video with each of the speakers that were here yesterday. So I know we really kind of took all 6 together and kind of brought that into one big union. But again, that information can be applied to everyone who's breathing, everyone who's walking, everyone who's living, and it really, I would say, the next generation to come, because our mothers have to be healthy, our I say hormones or men's testosterone has to be healthy in order to have those babies come out healthy. It sounds a little bit funny, but that's how I feel that we really have to change what's happening in the population. If we don't teach our kids and be the dictator of our table, they are not going to outlive us in this generation. We actually have control of that. We are making cells every single moment that we're feeding and breathing. I know it's the same thing that we preach together. Everything you put in your mouth can be a friend or it can be a foe. It can actually, your body can be its own pharmacy. It will take that food that you eat, break it down and make nutrition, or it will cause inflammation. It's that simple. So decide what you want to put in your mouth. Decide if you're choosing family or you're choosing food. I know it sounds really harsh, but oftentimes we celebrate or we eat food due to emotions, yes, and not really due to actually healing our body. So we had a lot of amazing resources. I would say, being in this space, 5 years ago, no one was saying ketones. There would have been 2,000 people in a room screaming and cheering about ketones. I know you jumped on a very early morning plane to get here. Before you heard anybody speak yesterday, when you looked at the speaker lineup, what were you most looking forward to?
I was most looking forward to Dr. Wilson and Dr. Lowry, or Ryan Lowry's, because I've literally eaten up the ketogenic Bible ever since it came out. So I think I read it in one night, and wanted to hear a lot of the emerging research. And the emerging research, guys, that's coming out is it'll blow y'all away. I mean, and it's just like we said. Unfortunately, we already have the anecdotal evidence. A lot of the anecdotal doesn't mean that it's not real. It just or effective. It just means that we just haven't tested it yet. But in the real world, we're seeing real world results already.
For clinical study, it takes
17
people.
Yeah, but 17 years sometimes to get it out. And that's, when we really have an epidemic as far as everywhere from diabetes to obesity to PTSD to what was the stats yesterday? Like 43 million people right now with PTSD, and more people, that we've lost from suicide than we've actually lost in combat. That's a sobering statistic. So there's a lot that we need to do.
Right, and now we have a solution. Before we didn't have any solution. Again, it's not just a one-size-fits-all, but it's just adding more tools to the belt to help people's body heal. Again, it wants to heal. You break your leg, it wants to fix itself. If Willie needs a kidney, I could hopefully give him a kidney. He has something wrong with his liver, we chop it off and it grows back, if it has the right setting, if it has the right environment. So it's more about just that overall wellness and health. But I'm like you, it was so exciting to be here with those top leaders. Get plugged in, send us questions. Willie and I want to come together. We're in the same time zone, not the different, but in different area codes. But we want to help bring value to you. We want to help bring education from, I guess, the medical perspective, but also as a real perspective, how you can understand what people are talking about and what really is being fed to you, because there's a lot of information coming to you from everywhere. We want you to focus in on what's good and what actually can benefit your body and your family and your friends. So Nicole, wish you could have been here with us. Thanks for joining us here. You're always on, checking and staying in front and being current with what's going out there. So any last bits, Willie, Kendra?
No, I'm still excited for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
More info to come.
Me too. So I look forward to gathering some more information with Willie and hoping you guys will stay tuned in to what's happening and what you can do to help keep your body healthier. So there's just a few people on again. A lot of our friends are inside there, but we want to make sure that we recapped a bit for you, may come back another 48 hours and recap a little bit more information, because we haven't heard from Dr. Ford yet.
Yes.
So Dr. Ken Ford is going to be here, I think, tomorrow, forerunner of a lot of information that's out there. We're looking to optimize human performance at the highest level. So that's really what I really bring to you guys. So thank you, Willie, for being here. Kendra, thanks for being here, and we'll see you guys soon.